buddy guys? Well, welcome to the Game Club discussion here for MGK. We'll be doing a discussion with Dispatch today here. I'm kind of excited to hear everyone's opinions about Dispatch and what they experienced as they were playing it through. But yeah, we're going to get started here and kind of get an idea of like who has all finished the game so far overall. I know Nigel mentioned he played it once so far.
Oh, I'm on my second playthrough. I almost finished the second one, just like
Oh,
doing some
okay.
different options.
I gotcha. Oh, Wayne, were you saying that you were playing it twice so far? Is that correct?
Yeah, I was just about to say. Sorry, I was fixing my mic. Yeah, I'm on episode 4 of my second playthrough.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot so far. What you call it? I could go into detail, but I'll let Dimitri go next.
I gotcha. I
I
will.
just
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say real quick that admittedly, I thought I finished it. I did not finish like I think episode like 6 and 7. So I'm like almost at the end of it, but I've already watched people play this game full through, so I know what generally happens. I'm going to do this is the segment where I try to explain the story of the game very lightly. I'm not trying to go over deep like super deep details. I'm just going over like the basic premises of it. Um, so you play as Robert, who is a superhero who is currently trying to avenge their dad. They have some complications that happen, but to kind of get a secondary job, they end up becoming a dispatcher in a call center for a superhero organization. Pretty much, he helps dispatch the superheroes out to different areas to cover crimes, to whatever. And he's also kind of trying to solve a mystery in the background about, well, I think he knows that Shroud, killed his dad, but trying to pretty much get revenge at the same time with that. Um, that's a very, very, very light um, story setup for this game.
Yeah,
But
but
there's a
that does
lot of
cover.
wonderful characters and a lot of um, different interactions between different characters also in the games that you meet. And yeah, but that's a very basic rundown of that. Um, I guess for me, I was very excited about this game because if I'm not mistaken, one of the was it I don't know if it's the lead developers, but like some of the developers who were previously at Telltale Games decided to make this studio to make Dispatch, which I and then hearing that it will be another like um oh gosh, I'm blanking on the genre of Telltale Games right now. I don't know why, but it's very Telltale like.
It's like
You,
interactive visual
yeah,
novel, I think, right?
yeah, like interactive games.
Time event.
Choose your own story kind of games event. So I was very excited to see that again. I miss Telltale Games a lot. I love their stories with Telltale Games. So, but yeah, I was very excited to see that. I guess when it comes to the overall expectation of this game, when you guys first heard about it, like how are you guys real feeling about it as well? Were you guys pretty excited about like having another like story adventure game and Telltale like kind of format kind of there?
Every day, more of these games come out.
Mm-hmm.
I get the belief that Wolf Among Us will come back, or someone will just make their
Yes.
own version of it.
Yes, absolutely.
That is my answer. But yeah, definitely super excited. Like if they gave this like a weekly animated like TV slot thing, I would watch it too as well. So it's even more fun to get to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess before we get like started with like some of the different like
Now recording.
I guess the different
Okay.
aspects of Dispatch, what are some of the like kind of your moments that stood out in the game overall or the story?
I'm so sorry. One more time for that question.
Sorry, well, what were some of the moments that stood out to you the most while playing this game and like why?
Okay, yeah, like spoiler alert for anyone that's watching that didn't watch it. So I know, right? Granted, right? But Uh, I before I played the game, there was like a decision that was like going viral at one of like the end episodes of the game. And that decision was well, not a decision, a result of a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it had to do with like Invisigal and whether she would go back into life as a villain or if she would um,
Yeah.
like get the good ending for her. And it was interesting because um, it really is like a story about like redemption and
Yeah.
like um taking accountability for your actions in the past and stuff like that. And ironically enough, to get the good ending, you kind of have to like what you call it, do like a 180 on the whole um like one of your earlier choices to like, cut either Coop or Sonar. It's kind of like a reversal of that where it's like, oh, do you cut Invisigal or not at the end?
Yeah.
And I feel like that is the decision whether that lets the player know whether they got the good ending or the bad ending. I feel like, yeah, I'm on my second playthrough to confirm it, but I feel like that's what determines it because I got the bad ending for Invisigal, but
Oh, interesting.
I did, yeah, but like I think it's because I cut her, but I also romanced her. So like she knew that I trusted her, so she ended up killing Shroud for me.
Wow.
um yeah, so that was my turnout for the for the ending, and I thought it was really cool because what you call it? I thought it was really cool because like the moral dilemma was like, oh, it's like she's gone off the rails this time. Chase might be dead because of this, and because of what she did, and her reckless actions caused the Z team to be put in like mortal danger in multiple situations. So like the best thing to do was to cut her in the real world, but I feel like the game wanted us to keep her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize why until my second playthrough, where I got this voice line from her earlier on in the game, where she was like, "Oh, people keep looking at me like that," and then I think Robert was like what? And then she was like I'm incapable of doing good. And I was like, oh shit! I know for sure that choice is why I got the bad ending for her.
Yeah.
I actually do want to ask around the room, people who have played it, like what endings or major choices they feel like they made. Because like I played the game when it came out on the week by week, so it's just an interesting social experiment seeing so many people get like the bad ending, and I'm like, really, y'all got the bad ending? We got a pretty good one on my playthrough. I don't know what y'all did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I cut Sonar, so he was my final boss at the end, or like final villain at the dispatch
Mm-hmm.
sequence. Um, I kept Waterboy, um, and what you call it? Of course, I romanced Invisigal, and I cut Invisigal at the same time.
We have almost
um,
the same playthrough here. I see very small difference. The only difference is you tried cutting her. Everything else is the same.
yeah, and like I did free her. I did confess my feelings for her, and what you call it? What other big decisions was it? Oh yeah, for the Astral Pulse, I gave Shroud both, and I didn't know which one was the real one. And ironically enough, I feel like that was the right answer because he couldn't tell himself which one was the right one.
That is the
Uh,
funny ending. That
Yeah.
is the most poetic one.
yeah. Um, let's see. I think those
What?
are all the major decisions, right?
Yeah. Did anyone else
Yeah.
play enough through the game? Like, what were some of y'all's big decisions, just to get a read of the room?
Truthfully, I do not remember my major decisions. I know that I did end up. Um, I remember I did fire. I did fire sonar. I definitely did that. And then regarding to the romance, I think I did end up romancing the Invisigirl. But yeah, I haven't got to the ending yet. So, but most likely I probably would have just let Invisigirl kill Shroud either way. So yeah.
I don't know if I can speak much because I've only played a demo for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I do like I just basically got the cutscene part of it, but some interactions I felt like, oh, you really have to pay attention to the interactions because they go automatic. And I'm like, ah. Feel like some of these are not my choices.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got caught off guard
Yeah.
with the timer as well sometimes. Sometimes I wasn't looking at the screen and I was like, fuck, it made a
Yeah.
decision for me.
Yeah,
Um,
it's just like, oh no.
my only decision that I didn't make was like what's call it, uh, bearing Shroud at the end, because I was playing the game with my partner. And we're handing the controller back and forth through every other episode, and this was like the last episode. It was late at night, and like the whole time we're like, yeah, we're probably gonna kill him, and stuff like that. And then I
Yeah.
see that she like lets him go by, and then I turn to my left, and her eyes are closed because she couldn't hold on. It was like past midnight, so she unwillingly saved him.
I guess kind of jumping in about the decision making part of this game. Wayne kind of mentioned about how he's kind of analyzing some of his meaningful choices throughout the game and kind of figuring out what is working, what will get him the good ending, what's gonna give him the certain things. Like, how do you guys feel about the choices? Do you feel like that they're meaningful to you guys? Is there like some choices that you feel like weren't really important but were really important for the story overall? Or was there like some like decisions that didn't really matter and the game kind of made you go down a certain path either way? I don't know if that makes sense there.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I guess asking purely from like me experiencing this big social experiment of the game, because it's always interesting to see everyone's choices at the end of each episode and how they compare to mine. Like, yeah, it definitely felt like a lot of people you definitely saw some of their intentions, like the moments of blonde blazer and the dress, or like how many people realized they got the not great ending. Like it's like it seemed because in my ending, it was like an episode of Cheers. We got the whole band back together, everyone's happy. Like yeah, Invisigal's on a stretcher, but she'll be fine by next episode probably. Um, but in terms of like playing it like in the moment first time, I didn't really feel that. It felt very enjoyable. I mean,
Mm.
I know these games are sort of like written to push to sort of make the story convene at certain points, but as a moment to moment player experience, it felt pretty cool. And there are like some little gameplay differences. Like on my second playthrough, I didn't tell them I was Mecha Man.
Oh.
I just said I was the guy in the chair, and it doesn't matter who we are now. And he spun this into some really fancy speech after the fact. I'm like, maybe that was the better decision.
That's valid. What you call it? I remember that was the one choice that I got spoiled on, with Flambe. Um, and I actively chose to hide the fact that I was Mecha Man because I wasn't sure if Flambe would come back.
Right. Now that choice, um, uh, that ends up like Flambe leaves for a while, right? Depending
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
choice there.
yeah. The first time our playthrough, he was just not there at all for that dispatch session. You know,
Mm.
until like later in this, it's until later in the game where you have like the little housewarming party, because our character's house looks like a call for help. We'll put it nicely, but he does eventually come by and comically, at the worst time moment.
Right. So there's no like lasting effect of that choice, uh, to reveal it or not, but you do feel it for a little while.
Yeah. I mean, there are probably some just differences in dialogue and stuff, like, because when he left, he was one of the people that stood on not letting go in Visigal because he felt like he left and you guys let him come back. So I feel like it might be a little different what he will say now because I never told him he never left at all.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Would you know, Wayne, on your playthrough? You remember that boardroom meeting where they all were like, "You should cut Invisigal"? How did Flambe react?
It wasn't like Flambe was kind of silent, but the only one that stuck up for Invisigal was the rock guy. I forgot his name.
Oh
Golem.
yeah, him. Golem.
I thought it was
Yeah,
Golem.
he threw someone like across. He threw Punch Up across the glass, um, and he walked back like nothing happened because he doesn't feel paid.
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing. I'll just walk it off.
That part. That was a good impression.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's funny. That's funny.
So yeah, in my playthrough, it was Golem and Flambe that stood up for her. But yes, Punch Up
Mm.
still got tossed like a beanbag.
Mm. Mm. I see. I see. Yeah. It definitely seems like for most of the decisions, like the story beats are mostly the same. Like, but like there's some differences in some of the smaller things that happen within those beats. But yeah, there's no like major changes, right?
Besides the ending, apparently. Because in one of them, you let your LA baddie become a crime lord. In the other one, you just go back to everything is business and it's a happy sitcom ending.
Mm. Mm. So there's like the Invisigal stuff is kind of crucial. Some of it, certain
I
parts
mean,
of it.
tell us about your playthrough, Tim.
Mm, mm,
What
mm.
important choices did you make or not make?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Darius that I don't remember some of the details from the choices I made. Um, as y'all talk about them, I remember which ones I did and didn't do from those decisions. But you know,
It's okay. We won't judge. This is a safe space, mostly.
exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't remember many of the decisions. It's been a while for me, and at this, so and like I said, like when I like turned on my Steam Deck and realized that I didn't actually finish it, I probably watched the remainder of somebody else playing it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What?
All right. So, I guess a couple questions I had about the characters as well. One thing I do have to admire about this game is that the characters were really believable. They had some really good, like, personal, I guess, interests, personal struggles that they have. I guess my question is like, which character made you, which character felt the most believable for you guys? Was it Visigal? Was it
Chase.
Robert? Oh
Hands
yeah,
down.
Chase. Yes.
Hands
Oh
down.
my gosh. I was
That
gonna say.
man cracked me the fuck up. I mean, sorry, I don't know if we're allowed to curse in the recording, but
You're fine.
he cracked me up.
Uh,
Ah.
Chase was so bitter.
dang, y'all
I
just
would be
picked
bitter
Chase
too,
out
bro.
though.
You only live for like what, 30 years?
Right.
Man, I'm just saying, it just sounded to me like it was just Jeffrey Wright playing himself as a begrudgingly old
Yeah,
superhero.
yeah.
It was just him, just straight up monologue. They just hit record, and he just kept on going. Uh, I,
I honestly want to say Rob for me, because I'm like, man, he is just in the thick of it. He is the most normal. He's like, y'all, y'all. I'm just trying to make sure everything is okay. Don't be a dick to me, or else I'll be a dick to you. It's very nonchalant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like they wrote the show from the idea of like, hey, what's the most beaten down, soul sapped people in the world? And it's people on the other side of helpline. Customer service, dispatch, like those people experience the worst of society. Then they
Right.
go home. Maybe they have a dog. hopefully they have painted walls and don't look like it's supposed to like turn into a a crime scene in their apartment or something like, and then they got to wake up and do it all over again.
Right.
That's true.
Oh,
That's
and
true.
then
Yeah, they could have easily like made the characters like more Suicide Squadish in a way, but they kind of leaned in on this like more kind of like downtrodden, beaten, more humor kind of aspect, less of like we're evil.
Like, and all of them are funny. I think most of them I had at least one or two chuckles from. The one that's like forever burnt in my memory is with Malevola and Prism, because like because I really want to replay the game and like pair them up each differently. Because in the dispatch moment, if you use two of them together more, they get different abilities, and I'd love to see what happens with them. Because this is one moment where like they're trying to interrogate Robert because they have a gamble, because that's what they do to figure out like which hero he actually was. And then Prism says something like that, says something like something to the kind of like, yeah, and like I never knew my dad. He was never around. And Melissa was like, yeah, right. And Prism gets angry, and she's like, what? What do you mean by that, huh? Like because I'm black? And Melissa was like, no, you told me. And then Prism immediately gets sad. She's like, yeah. She's still that little girl deep inside.
I'm like, is that black girl trauma? I guess. I know I saw that scene. I'm like, damn. Like I'm living at home. Okay.
And also, welcome to the chat, Deontay. We're just talking about
Yeah.
uh home videos, funniest moments from Dispatch.
And I guess
It's funny.
talking about the humor in this here, for in this game, how does the game balance humor and emotional stakes? Do you guys feel like it did it really well, like making that balance? Do you guys kind of?
Yes.
I feel like it did pretty well with the overall with the balance of like the humor of it, but the emotional parts really, really, really like were really good, in my opinion. But oh yeah, what do you guys think about that as well?
I think it handled it really well. Like from it didn't take itself too seriously in the moments where it wasn't supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but at the same time, somehow it was able to like transform some like really like static moments. Like Robert is a very bland guy,
Yeah.
right? And somehow like the neutrality of his responses make all of the more extreme and fantastic experiences all the more like fantastic and extreme. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah,
The
that makes
balance of
sense.
Yeah,
it.
that
That
makes
makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's the vibe.
he's just like all of us, right? He's real basic, like
Right.
compared to
So
everyone else in the show.
I have a question. Without anyone Googling, when you were playing the game, how old did you think Robert was?
38.
Like
38?
20s. I thought
20s,
he was in his
really?
20s. Yeah.
Really? Okay, okay. Yeah, I thought he was a middle-aged man. Because this man looked like he like stared
Right, what
into the
does middle
sun
age mean?
So what is
like at least
Like
40 or
What is
or
what
like
is middle?
getting close to 40 or 50 or something. Because he
Oh,
because he
Damn,
he
bro.
he feels like Batman late in his life and his career. Like, yeah, man, I've just punched so many guys, I've been punched so many times back. You know, all
I
my
just
life is my work.
Well,
And
I
then I
just
Google
honest
it, and he's like in
Mhm.
his late 20s.
yeah.
that makes total sense because I had the feeling that I'm just like, oh, it seems like he's experienced things, but also he's like, I am getting ducked and cucked here. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but like, I feel like I'm going through a crisis, but I'll keep moving, and that's what makes him feel very relatable. But I honestly thought like 38, 38.
Dang, Nigel mean. He talking about 50. That's crazy. That's I mean, you gotta be some more
I
middle-aged
said, yeah,
people, man.
I
Yeah,
definitely
well,
didn't think 50, but it's I mean, hey, he didn't like. I guess I assumed for me that like he knew a lot of things because of his dad. So I was like, oh, well, he's probably seen some stuff and heard about some stuff. I don't know. Yeah, but that's interesting.
I'm just saying, he gave the look of someone who I've seen who like has like no longer sees a light in the world anymore because they've just been like pushed to the cliff so many times. Like I thought he was like Bruce Wayne age at least, like this man's been professional Batman, roped in a few sidekicks at least, you know.
Well, I mean, I'm like that, and I'm only 34. So, I mean,
Right, exactly,
Yeah, like this man was still in his
exactly.
20s though. That means that means he had this stuff beaten out from him so much early in
Right.
his
Twenties,
career.
twenties is
Man,
young. 20s is a little young for
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
I agree. Yeah,
I
do
mean, I don't
agree.
know. Something in my brain is like all superheroes or like, people who are doing these like high octane jobs and stuff like that are pretty much like on the younger side because they don't have that much of like a lifespan in that career, if that makes sense. Like they'll get injured somehow before they get 30. And if they do make it to 30 uninjured, then something's coming because one bad rotation or something and their hip like pops out or something.
And their hip hop sound. Jesus.
Hey, I mean that's reality of it.
Right.
They didn't go out in a heroic way. They went out with their hip, popping out, and they're like,
Oh
what?
my gosh.
I'm done. I'm done.
I mean, it's like firefighters, they're probably like into their 30s and stuff like that. Maybe you'll get some after like 40 or something. Like to like 20 to 30 is prime running into a
And
burning
Matt,
building age.
and mind you, wait, isn't that kind of what I guess kind of Chase went through? Because I know he's not like
Right.
actually that old, but like he is, his body physically is getting old, so he had to retire. I was like, listen, I'm sitting down. I was like, I can't. Yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
uh,
Chase was like that one. Yeah.
he,
Mhm.
he got like promoted to the trainer position immediately, effective immediately.
Yeah. Back to you were saying earlier there is about like the humor in the game and balancing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was also thinking that uh I guess like they seem to avoid the like Marvel issue that we've seen in like these superhero films, like really
yeah,
quippy. There's kind of like there's like a certain cadence to the humor, whatever. Like it seems like we don't have that issue with this, in as far as the writing is concerned,
yeah.
which I think was is a testament to them. They did a great job with writing the characters. Um, because of that, it feels like you kind of connect with the characters a little bit stronger, I think, than you would in like these kind of Marvel situations.
Yeah. I think maybe the last thing I gotta say, and I gotta head out, Joel. But yeah, like generally the game does a good job in humor overall, like not just in the characters and what they say, but like in what they do. Like the funniest moment to me, one of them was like when you have to decide between Waterboy and depressed Superman, not evil Superman, utterly depressed Superman. And when you're like, you see him on the TV screen pausing LA traffic, which doesn't need a lot to happen. And he almost raises a fist to punch a car, but then gives up because it's not worth it. And then the camera pans out, and then you see the other option, Waterboy, belching up water to clean the screen with a mop. And people are like, please don't do that. And he doesn't understand what that meant. So instead of using the mop, he tries to take a paper towel. So yeah, I think the
That's
people writing
funny.
it understood humor.
Yeah.
Phenomenal man.
Yeah,
Phenomenon.
Yeah, phenomenal man. It's just like, yeah.
I y'all.
All
I
right.
see.
That is funny. Yeah. I guess just because of the when they made these characters, they gave them these like powers, but then they also gave them these like kind of quirks, as far as like their personality quirks. That like you usually don't see these powers paired with these personality quirks. So it kind of makes for like interesting scenarios just because of them being who they are, and and that's kind of neat. I think what Superman, we've seen evil Superman, we've seen normal Superman, we've seen super powered up Superman. Um, I don't think we've seen depressed Superman before. I think it might be a first one.
Yeah. I was actually gonna just because I'm looking at the YouTube video right now, and I'm watching the main dispatch mechanic overall.
Oh yeah.
I was wondering how do you guys feel about that mechanic overall? I thought it was pretty good. It's definitely a very interesting. Uh, yeah, it's just a very interesting mechanic to kind of interact with the game. It's kind of like a break moment from all the story and all the decision making, and you kind of take some time to like dispatch it out the heroes. Also, you can hear like the little interactions between each hero or villain as well, which is also interesting. But yeah,
Right.
overall, I guess with that mechanic, how do you guys feel about that?
I actually love that the most because it was just like, wow, I get to interact with my team, dispatch them everywhere, hear all this banter, especially Flambe, man. Flambe is hilarious. But
He is.
it was good.
Yeah, we gotta spend some. Yeah, it's probably gonna talk about the game mechanics yet, because that's like the other half of the game is the
Yeah,
dispatch, and then the security puzzle. Is that the other one too?
yeah,
Whatever we call it.
That part I don't like.
Yeah, it's like I do not like that security puzzle. That was annoying.
Yeah,
Like
of
like
That
the
is
node
funny.
based stuff.
that's cool. But the hacking mini games, like at best, they were neutral, and I feel like I don't know 60% of the time it was just annoying, especially when they get more difficult. They got some pretty gnarly ones with like the viruses and stuff. I at least made it more bearable once I just made it where it's not failable, like because of the accessibility settings, which I'm always a fan of. But I just didn't care. It's like this is annoying. I this like, it's not riveting to me. It wasn't like uh outright hatred for it or anything like that, but it was like I wish there was something better. Like I understand that they kind of needed. I don't know if they necessarily needed, but it's a plus one to have another form of gameplay to break it up. I can see that vision. I just don't know if this was the secret sauce edition. I feel like there could have been something else, or maybe don't stop just there. Like there could be hacking and another sort of like mechanical mini game that we have to do. But if it's dispatch and hacking and that's all you get, I'm like, yeah, just miss me with the hacking.
fair, yeah,
That's fair. That's fair. That's valid. Yeah, yeah. I do agree in terms of like having both. I think I feel as though, because usually with these kinds of games, we usually just get quick time events most of the time, and so
yeah,
now like actually having like proper mechanics to play and like get into like the narrative of like the who's the characters are and what Rob does. I think is neat that like the dispatch kind of functions as like you're actually doing the dispatch job of doing it,
right,
and then having everyone else like kind of do the work, so to speak. And then the hacking game kind of serves as like Rob's point to like where he can do something of like that affects things in a more like direct way. So I think there's probably different ways they could have done another type of gameplay for Rob specifically, like just that would be like him, you know. Um, I can see why they landed on hacking because it made sense because he's on the computer. So it's like, oh, okay, yeah, but there's different ways of doing hacking too. So
it's like his unique thing that makes him feel like he's doing something personally,
like he's
like you
doing
said,
something.
right, yeah,
Has anyone played? I think I'm blanking on the name, but it was a co-op game where it's a spy game or whatever. It's supposed to be like a entirely co-op, where you play as one dude, it's a hacker, and one is the actual agent. and like one like it's a female agent with like a big afro, and then like a white dude. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
I think I know what you're talking about. I'm forgetting the name right now, but I see the visual. I see
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, I
like
think I remember it. Yeah.
Tango? Is it Tango? No.
it might be something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But I know that game had, one guy is the designated hacker, and they had a lot of different variations of how the hacking goes. It was still always the same, broad action of hacking, but the way it was broken up was like really good. And even though I guess it was across like it was a pretty short game. I think there was only like 6 levels or something to it. But even like something like that, where it's still like, okay, you're only doing one thing, but just like a lot more varied would be more welcome to me than what we had. Because I do see that they tried to add things uh, over time to like freshen it up a bit. But I feel like a lot of the times it wasn't like, oh, this is a riveting experience. It was like, oh, okay, I got something to make this just more troublesome. It was just having more bothers as to having like an entirely different experience that still feels exciting.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. Very true. Very true. Yeah. Um, yeah, I was trying to think of, even for the dispatch gameplay itself. I was trying to think like what gameplay type, because it's like an RTS a little bit in some sense.
Hmm.
um, I'm not sure there's any other like genre that borrowed from, if anyone else thought of it, but that's what came to mind for me.
It's kind of like a hybrid, right? Like you get you get the real time events of almost like a heavy rain or like one of those type deals where you're playing through, and then in the actual dispatch mode, it's that uh kind of RTS, almost like a mini game, right? Like I think about like Assassin's Creed because I'm old like that. Uh, when they when Ezio was like when you first had to dispatch your assassins out, and like based on their different stats, you got success or failure.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I remember that one now. Yeah. Also, welcome David to the chat.
Yeah, finally got to hop in.
It's all good.
Yeah. I definitely remember what you were talking about with those. Yeah, Assassin's Creed had it for, I think, Brotherhood,
Yeah, that's
and
it.
then some of the others after. And then I remember Metal Gear Solid 5 also having a pretty hefty dispatch feature of with like the soldiers that you get and having them go out, and then they level up and stuff over time. It's like ratings and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I think that's kind of what that kind of is. This is like a more active version of those, because you're seeing it happen in real time, um, and having to
Yeah,
like make decisions on the fly.
I think that timing element is really interesting, right? Like how long it takes them to go perform it while you have this limited time window is it felt very unique. I don't think I've ever run into that. But then I also was kind of upset because I wanted to play out the mission as the character, right? Like I played a lot of XCOM, and so you do the same setup. You pick the people who will probably have good advantages for the different mission or whatever. But then you play through with them, and you have turn based, and you have their abilities and stuff that you can activate. And this one is kind of like good luck, and that kind of you lose that
True.
autonomy.
That's true. That's true. That's an interesting point. Yeah, that would be an interesting extra layer to the gameplay. If it was a thing
That's a
where
lot
you
of
could. Yeah, it's a lot more involved.
Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. Uh, it is like
Yeah,
it's not necessary to get across the feeling of like being this dispatcher, but it would be an interesting extra to be like, hey, I'm going to send this person out to go clean up this like baddie, and I'm also going to give some orders while they're there to do certain things or whatever. But I think they help mitigate that a little bit with like, there's like random pop-ups during the event that happen where like a mistake happens or something, and then now you have to like figure out what the next move is to do to help like mitigate the situation.
That's
But
always
yeah.
that's always tough for me because I don't like. Again, when I did play XCOM, I played that thing on easy mode. I didn't like my people to get hurt. Everybody gets like mission success 100% kind of deal, and like this one, they just throw a monkey wrench in it. Like I think Flambe had that early mission where he's just like, "I'm just gonna go rogue." You're like, "Wait, whoa, bro."
Yeah, I love how. Also, hello up here. I love that the flavor like how much of a flavor win that is too for the game, because like I don't know how far people are in the. I assume people finished it, but
Yeah.
there was the bit once I think it's like day 2 or 3 when you have to cut someone from the team. They start sabotaging each other because they don't want to be the one cut they don't want to be the one cut.
Right.
And like they managed to stretch the limit, like relatively speaking, the mechanics are like rather small compared to most things, but like I had a mission where one of the characters locked Flambe in a sensory deprivation tank, and I had to go hack it. And while I was doing the hacking minigame, you could see like an outline of Flambe in the tank, while Coupe is going out and doing like the mission on her own. And that was really cute. Like they managed to squeeze the most out, be very economic with the mechanics that they have for conveying story.
That is true. That's a good example.
Yeah, they got a lot
Yeah, I
of real
think
estate out of that.
they did a really good job of like. I feel like it would be easy with the gameplay of Dispatch for you to feel very much like not a part of it in a sense, or like there's this like disconnect. But I feel like with all the little things, like the team members actively sabotaging each other, or just random shit happening, or I mean, it's frustrating, but I think it's frustrating for the sake of world building, because I would be pissed off too. And I'm like, I remember at least I played through twice. I remember one time, I think I pissed off Malevola, and I was trying to like send her out because she's like the best one. She's like, no, fuck you, I ain't going. I'm like, bitch, go! I'm telling you to go. But like, that's like
Yo, there are so many moments. Oh, sorry, yeah. Yeah, there are like so many moments of the game where like you're just sometimes your characters will just act like assholes, and you have to be, buddy, please, I am trying to help you. Why? I thought we were tight.
Yeah, it is.
That's true.
And like even unlocking it, like to what you're saying, Deontay, like when you start to unlock like the player synergies, and you want to be sending them together, there's like moments where they ain't trying to go together, and you're like, oh my gosh, you gonna mess up my percentage. Like
That's true. That's a little stressful.
like
or even
I wonder.
Towards the end, like the last chapter when like you're trying to take over for Blazer because she was like covering for you while you were out, and just the fact that like when you come back in, like some of your people are already like coming back from a mission, like it's literally in progress. It's not like, oh yeah, it's teed up and you just like start off blank slate like normal. Like that was a very tiny detail, but I thought that was like really cool of just like, yes, like this world is keep going. Like you're jumping into it. It's not like nothing's waiting for you or is solely dependent upon you. They did a really good job of that.
Yeah. Like also like I also like how I haven't played a ton of like Telltale games, but this was it was, even with only like I'm only in like episode, like halfway through episode 3. It's very interesting to see the choices you make already pay off, and they happen to pay off fairly quickly. Granted, I have a different take on the game because I wasn't playing it live when they were updating it every week or so, right?
Right. Yeah.
But like I did like how in Invisigal, her name's Invisigal
Yeah.
gets pissed with you for how you handle the her first mission, and she acts like it is a very good tutorial on it's a very good tutorial on the way that like, okay, your guys might not necessarily follow orders because they are villains and they are very selfish. And so even though like the right thing to do would be like disarming what's his name? Disarming the supervillain that's attacking Granny. Your girl decides to attack Granny because she's like, dude, I don't know this guy, and she already has beef with Granny anyway. And like, dang, it's cool. The game does a really good job of saying like, hey, you have to work around this. You can't be the hero for this team at least at this point. I imagine that changes, but still, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, the part that I forget a little bit from the actual dispatch, playing like that particular part of the game, and then how that rolls over into like chapter 5 and 6, was like, yeah, does it really affect much in terms of like the results that you get towards the end? Because I feel as though it's just mostly like your story choices that really affect things. But
I think it's
So I
I think
learned
it's
this
just.
just yesterday.
Oh, go ahead.
That, I don't know how many more there are, but I know specifically for Invisigal, her arc is dependent on how many times you dispatch her in the game and how many successes that she has. That will actually affect her story, her choices, regardless of what you choose. Like you could be building her up an entirely different way, but if you were never using her, she's not gonna go the way that you might think that she would.
Oh, that's interesting.
I found that out yesterday.
oh,
that is neat.
There's definitely a lot of nuance to like replayability with this game, but I guess my question is, does anyone still like? I, I don't replay a lot of titles, just in general. I think time wise, but I'm wondering for folks, are you encouraged to replay, or is that something like you dive into? Is that more a niche thing?
Absolutely. I feel encouraged to replay, see what different choices I can make. Like literally right now, I'm switching up every major decision I made. Like I kept
Mm.
Sonar this time, and I did Phenomenon this time. Only thing I didn't switch up was romancing Invisigal. I mean, I don't know. I still didn't reach that decision yet. I might do it. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah, like I do think that is a very interesting question because one, I haven't played through the game yet. I'm like a third of the way through.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that there were some people who were kind of upset about the lack of replayability for it because they specifically they thought that like there isn't enough game here for choices to meaningfully matter. And I don't know if that's true, but obviously it sounds like it is because there is room for choices to change and like influence the game. Because
Yeah,
you mentioned there's a lot of stuff that changes.
I definitely disagree with it not having enough to impact change because I mean, there's a few different, kind of romancing options, obviously, right? But outside of that space, right, there's just the characters you select. Having a few of the heroes actually be available or not be available based on your choices is interesting too, because then that plays into like how you couple people to go out on missions and things like that. So it all kind of I think it's more less overt about how it impacts the story, and that might be what people are like. They want like like maybe an in your face, oh, you can't do this, or oh, this person died, or something like that, to make them replay. But even in the chapters, when it was coming out chapter by chapter, you could go back and try the chapter over.
Yeah, interesting.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I do think there is some credence in that, like, you're not gonna go down a profoundly different arc with the choices. Like, you've played it once, you have seen like the story. But I do think the fact that it's not super long helps with that. It's like I guess it's not a large. I guess if it was longer and it had the of deviation that it did, obviously that opinion that it's not enough is a minority opinion. I think if it was longer and it also had the same level of deviation, it might rub more people the wrong way. But I think it's hitting this sweet spot where it's not that long of an endeavor to replay it. So therefore, even the fact that it's not going super branching apart, like you're still going to hit mostly the same beats, and it's just someone's there versus another person, or they get smacked to the left instead of smacked to the right. That still is good enough for what it is. Could it be better? Yes, but I think the majority is good enough for the majority of people to be satisfied.
Yeah, I definitely agree that there was enough, and like, because when you're looking at like development of a anything longer, developing that many story branches becomes way more intensive, because then you got to test all of those branches, right, to make sure everything is working. Like, that's a lot to try to build, and then you have the from just a logistical standpoint, I'm gonna do all of this, and who's actually going to play multiple playthroughs of the game if I make it too long, right? And then I've spent all this dev time on like a storyline that maybe the majority of players never even see. Like, they kind of run into that in the like Blizzard talks about that with Warcraft. It was like we had done all of these raids, these high level in boss raids and things, and like in the first and like vanilla, only 6% of the population had even seen the last boss.
Yeah.
I will say, in deviation, one thing I'm disappointed in is when you have to choose between Sonar and Coop. First time I played, I chose Coop to get cut because I'm like, Sonar can turn into a fucking bat. I do not want, like, I had already predicted that whoever I cut is going to turn against me. Like, I saw that coming from a mile away.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't want nothing to do with Sonar, like, in his full bat form coming for me. So let me just keep it. Then this next time around, I cut him, and I must say, Sonar's a little bitch. I'm gonna just say it.
Yes. I did the opposite my first playthrough, and like, yeah, but I did the opposite because he wasn't he was too inconsistent for me. Like, switching between bat and man form, between like times going in and out, I was like, nah, I can't guarantee your stats are gonna be what I want for when I send you out for the next mission, and then I'll be messed up, then I'll be mad. So I was just like, nah, he could go.
Yeah, and then even like scene when the whoever you choose does turn on you, like Coops, like her betrayal is vicious. Like, she was cutting up, and I'm getting stabbed and shaped, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. But freaking Sonar, he not even in full bat form. He just giving me punches and shit. I'm like, man, I can deal with this. Sonar was such a bitch to me the second time around. I didn't even save him. Like, from like at the when you can like bring him back or whatever. I was like, nah, let him go. Like, I'm tired of him. Like, he's
Jesus.
And it was also, I guess, for me, I felt like with Coop, like, she seemed like she was genuinely hurt in the sense that like she saw this as like redemption, and she really wanted to be on the team.
Chance, yeah.
Yeah, and like she was like lashing out from a point of pain, while as with Sonar, for him, he was like, well, I don't like you guys anyway. That's how it felt like. And I'm like, well, screw you. I don't like you, actually. Yeah.
I think also rooting for everybody black played a little bit into my decision making in the choice.
Valid.
Yeah. Also, I have. How does everyone think about the voice cast? Because I think the vocal performance was great, and part of the reason I haven't done anything with Sonar yet is because I kind of like Moist Critical, and his voice is funny.
I mean, I think everybody did really well. I definitely, the banter is so kind of organic and playful. Like, I really
Yes.
enjoyed that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Yeah, the voice cast I really, really enjoy in this game. I think that they did a really good job of picking specific folks, even the folks that are like well known. They did a really good job of picking them, and yeah, it is Moist Critical, so it's kind of hard for me to not hear him. But like even at that, it was still really good. Um, I also liked I really liked Flambe's character overall, voice acting wise. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So this game had some really good voice acting in it and really good dialogue as well. But anyways, sorry.
No, yeah, I wonder.
Yeah.
Like, it almost gives like this Critical Role vibe to where this would be a real interesting thing to take to some of those kind of games or some of those kind of like story arcs, and having maybe like those characters from like turn this into like a D&D kind of thing where like you're dispatching that your mercenaries out for this dungeon or what have you, and they have the same kind of
Mhm. Yeah, true. Yeah. I mean, my initial thoughts with the whole like core gameplay experience is like, oh, I mean, they probably I don't know I don't know what they did in their pre-production. They haven't talked about their behind the scenes yet publicly, but I had to wonder. I was like, oh, this is an easy game to like do a paper prototype for and do like you make a board game version of it just to like see if it works with the dynamics and the characters, and then you act it out while you're doing it, right? As you're dispatching, and then like, oh, okay, then you figure out, oh, this game works. Okay, let's make a digital version. Let's make the real thing, you know. That's what it
Yeah.
feels
Right.
like. It's
Yeah.
easy to do. Depends, but yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it would be. I think because all you need to do is like effectively a timer, just a bunch of random
Yeah, it's
events
just
that you
timer. Yeah, you just put timers on for
Yeah,
each of the characters. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, and then I feel like
stopwatches.
the stats and how the stat systems kind of played out against the needs for the needs for each of the missions was pretty straightforward too. I do wish there were more missions because at a certain point you kind of like your stats are kind of padded right towards the end of the game. You're kind of like depending on how you build your people, you kind of over OP a little bit for some of them, and so I'm wondering like if there were a larger stat range for those ones where you send more characters out for maybe for a different time, maybe not something like this per se, but like a second round go around or something similar.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, it's tricky. Yeah, I think like just like throw those out there, right? Like I think systemically, they could have played around with this a little bit extra, and maybe they'll do this in like if they make a sequel, maybe they'll like add a little extra into there. But like because they already have the events that happen, like like when you send Waterboy to the wrong thing, or and then like something a situation happens, or like some more villains show up, right? It's like yeah, you just kind of like built it in where like you have the more OP people, you just give them an extra challenge when they go to their mission. That's a
All
little
right,
bit like
yeah.
you have to deal with it because they're so strong. And you just kind of like throw that in there. It's like okay, it's like don't have to do too much extra. It's like let's do a little, let's spice it up a little bit.
I don't think it was like I think the fact of just like finite number of members kind of curtailed the power levels towards the end because I feel like it was necessary for them to be OP because a lot of times I would at least find myself with the point of I guess not having perfect runs because I've only had one perfect shift where I had literally no failures or misses. But a lot of times, usually I would run into the case where I'm like, I literally don't have anybody. Like the timer's
Yes.
the timer for the event is like on the exact same timer as like my last available hero. So like at the exact moment that they become available, I already failed it. So a lot of times I would, appreciate where I got like the OP characters because like I can get by with a 4-slot mission with only 2 characters just because of how their synergies are, which makes me have more available to get through the missions. A lot of times I feel like with the demands, like if you got to actually fill out all the slots, like with 3 people or something like that, it gets really dicey when you're like, I don't have anybody.
Yeah, and
I would like to see more with the items though. I think that's where they can kind of do it more so than maybe like the stats. I don't think they need more stats, but like stuff with like, I don't know, like just like having stuff where like, I don't know, maybe I can give somebody some cocaine where they'll
if they were,
have a downer next time around or something like that, like these cost benefit items where I can kind of like tweak the gameplay that way.
Yeah, if there was like loot to collect after success that you could then use in next missions or what have you, or that would be on the person of the character, kind of be able to use it at their leisure, right? And going into their next missions, that would kind of be cool too. Because I do think, and then like some of the passives or I guess abilities for some of the characters, like some people had great passives and some people it was kind of trash, right? Like getting depressed is not an awesome passive to have.
Yeah.
But what's his face? Like Flambe would double up his stats and certain things, and then like Golem, I feel like had the best passive with being able to duplicate. That was crazy.
True.
Yeah, I was
Very
regularly
true.
Prism. Even though I didn't really like, I'm probably this is a hot take. I did not like Prism that much as a character, but power wise, I'm like being able to duplicate whoever I need is best for the job and get them stats. So I was like, all right, yeah, we're gonna push you.
I don't know if y'all talked about
That's
this
good.
earlier, but one of the things that was like a frustration for me, I played on PlayStation, and the interface on PlayStation, like knowing what I was actually selecting and highlighting, especially when I first started playing, was tricky. Like I think that between the orange and blue and just like the way you controlled using the D-pad, sometimes I would like lose where I was, and then that would mess me up because it was a timing based thing. So I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna miss this because I didn't get to dispatch my people in time, and it was like, I don't know if y'all ran into frustration with that at all, but I know me and Tasha
100% feel you on that. I had that exact same sentiment because this does become a precision game. Like those clicks, like the difference between like half a second is real. And when I would play with controller, I ended up just going straight to mouse because I'm playing on Steam. But I would be like, yeah, I can't afford to go a little bit of mishap with the controller because otherwise I'm gonna miss a call. So I would just go mouse.
Yeah,
I hear that. Yeah, I played on PC. I played on mouse and keyboard, so I didn't see that.
I played on Steam Deck, and I kind of got that.
Right. But David, what you were saying before, both you and Deontay were saying before about the powers and stats and stuff like that. I think at least for this season, right? Let's call this a season, and maybe we'll get a season 2, right? But for this season, it feels like the reward for all the bullshit you go through is that like your team actually like has some synergy and can like get things done more efficiently. So the OP-ness is like, you deserve this, you worked for this.
right. You did, yeah. It does feel earned. Especially
like enjoy.
like all of the like annoyances you deal with. I think
right.
You're like, okay, good. Yeah, y'all kind of owe me. Oh, and then there'll be. I don't know if everybody ran into. I'm pretty sure everybody did. Where you have one where it's like you got an 80+% chance and you still fail it, and you. Oh.
Right, because it's still
yeah,
RNG.
I got an achievement for that. I got that on my first day.
Oh no!
I missed by a percent. the chance of succeeding was like 70, or well, no, it was like 79, and I got a 78, and they said, wow, you're lucky, aren't you? Basically. Oh boy,
Man,
that
like
can
that is
happen, and it's funny, but
triggering again. That's some XCOM stuff for me. Like when you would play, like I don't know how familiar y'all are, but you would get like 80% chance to hit and still miss the target. And it's turn based, so okay, now they're about to come over and kill you. So that sucks.
it's even worse when you see the animation play and the bullets go straight, like they clip through the enemy.
Oh
and you're
yeah.
like, and they're just like, nope, actually, you didn't shoot them.
Just because I know we're at I guess probably towards the end of it, I just want to check, did I miss already like the discussion of Invisigal versus Blazer, or have we not gotten there?
I'm literally there right now. I just chose
Yeah,
Blonde Blazer for this
yeah,
round.
did y'all not talk about that earlier?
We talked a little bit about it, about how
we
like
talked briefly about it, but not in depth.
more
In
so
depth.
about the ending.
Yeah.
Oh, the ending.
Yeah. And how like whether we should cut Invisigal or whether we romance her at the end and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if Deontay, if you wanted to add on something about that, you can go and go.
Oh yeah, I was just I feel like that's one of the kind of like the central things. Although I guess I'm sure they put in like a romantic route too. I haven't done that where you just like push off everybody. But Invisigal is tough, man. I guess like for me, there's a personal like draw to her because of like the shit that I have recently gone through, where I feel like people didn't give me a chance or something like that for far less aggressions. But I was like, okay, I want to see the good in this person, and I know throughout of it, her heart was in the right place. But I'm like, you are really fucking up. Like you are, like, goddamn girl, can you do something right? Like, and I kind of didn't like, from me playing it twice, that like Blazer, you can shun her to hell high. You can be like, I don't want nothing to do with you. Go fuck off. And she's still a kind-hearted person that will like save you. While as for Invisigal, if you do not absolutely baby her and just be like, I am here for you at every moment and stuff like that, then like she just goes awry. And I wish she wasn't so much of a fuck up. I mean, that's real. But if that's like my only two choices, I mean, like I don't know. It's just making her a tough choice. Like the second time around, the first time I played, I genuinely felt like conflicted between or at least up towards the end. But like the first, like I don't know, like 4 or 5 chapters, I was like, okay, I'm genuinely torn between Invisigal because I see her good moments, and then but Blazer's Blazer. But then like second time around, where I was like, all right, we're just going all in on Invisigal just for the sake of story deviation. I was like, God damn, man, you making this hard.
Yeah, there are a couple moments where she's like, "Oh gosh," like
yeah, I'm doing this from a pure story. Like I'm gamifying this because if I was like actually role playing, like I have a limit and you have broken it, But I know if other people felt that because I'm looking at the stats, and according to like the game stats, the majority of people rock with Invisigirl, and I'm like, but why though? It's like she really fucks it up. Like
I feel
really,
like that's like and forgive me for stereotyping gamers, but I feel like that's that kind of edgelord thing where it's like I want the bad girl. It's like there wasn't a lot of interest in the because like you said, she was just gonna be good and down for the cause no matter what you did if you picked a blonde blazer.
I just finished watching this YouTube video. Oh, I was just gonna say I just finished watching a YouTube video like maybe 2-3 days ago, about Dispatch queer baiting, in the lead up to its release. People were asking like, oh, is there gonna be like a gay romance option for Robert? Because I think they came out with the fact that Flambe was gay. and some of the relationships that Robert has had like significant moments where you would think something would come out of it with some of the guys, and it was like soft, like confirmed by one of the lead executive producers of the show, but then it turned out there was actually none. So the video was kind of talking about how like some of the people felt like, okay, well, the only real option then would be like Invisigal because of it, um, because you didn't really get much from Blonde Blazer throughout the whole thing. That's what I was hearing.
Like I can kind of see that. This kind of reminds like it's kind of like at least reminiscent of a lot of people commenting the deepness and story differences in story quality and availability between certain characters in Baldur's Gate 3. Like Asterion is so incredibly well developed and like has all this stuff going on. But compared to some other characters, uh, they don't get as much story time as him because either the devs thought that Asterian's was the most interesting, or they just didn't have the time to fit it in. And yeah, I do think that it would have been very interesting if they were like an ascended version of Dispatch, or ascended meaning like they can run it back. They got all the money in the world. They can run it back. Let you romance anyone on your team. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be a lot of dialogue lines.
Yup.
But for sure, I could
Not
definitely
economic.
see it with like Waterboy, Phenomenon, and Flambe, just because of your experience with them. Made it pretty
Yeah, there's
like
like
it was
deeper.
very heavily teased.
But
yeah, like
is Flambe canonically gay? Like, because I didn't get that in
yeah,
the.
he
But they
is
like
canonically gay.
there's like a story beat where it's like revealed or something. Because I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah, his voice lines, and also like they explicitly state it in something. Let me find out where, but for sure he's canonically gay.
No, yeah, there's one voice line where I think he's talking to Prism about somebody. Gosh, now I gotta think about it. But I do agree. I do feel like there was some baiting there because, and these games have kind of gotten accustomed to the idea that you kind of, if you're gonna have all this autonomy of choice, that you should allow the player to at least have some type of like preference with their respective love interests.
There's a part in the game where it says that he skipped the closet and went straight to the clubs.
Oh dang.
It sounds like him.
He was
Well, yeah, I
also
mean, that's I never picked that up, but that's dope because I like that's I guess maybe it could have. I guess I would probably want a little bit more. As I guess it's straddling a thin line, but I never got that. But I guess like I would appreciate him more if it was more slightly, ever so slightly more obvious that he was gay. Like I think he is. Like I think a lot of people say like he's a fan favorite because he is hell of a troll. He is a troll extraordinaire, but he's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah,
For me, it was kind of obvious to me that Flambe was gay. I mean, like, first of all, look at what he's wearing.
yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be real.
He
I'm gonna be
reminded me.
real.
Like, he was kind of like
The deep V cut.
like, did y'all ever watch Roll Bounce? He reminded me
Oh.
of like yeah, like the roller skating movie with Bow Wow and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like he reminded me of like Hispanic Too Sweet. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, like Too Sweet in that movie is very heterosexual. So that was the vibes he gave me. Or like what am I thinking of? Like the dudes in like the Soul Glow commercial, like well, like a
I
Jerry
see.
and stuff. That was the vibes, not necessarily like gay. But I like once you say it, then I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that other side of it. But yeah, so
Oh
like for
yeah,
me,
and plus he made like he made jokes to Robert all the time. First of all, the game's narrative designer confirmed it, but in the in-game dialogue, some of the choices that you can choose get like prompts him to like lowercase flirt with Robert and be like, "Oh, Robert, you're not my type." um,
Odd.
but in a very specific way. I can't think of the exact quote, but they heavily in my, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I thought it was pretty obvious.
And I think
Yeah.
I think it's interesting too that and maybe it was more subverted because we don't normally see the a gay character as like the overt kind of bully in us in the storyline, at least from from game narratives, right? Like where he's like he's a jerk, and we don't normally have that, and also be the gay character. I think partially because we know what times we are living in and how unaccepted folks had been already previously. We kind of didn't want to like add fuel to the fire there. No pun intended, flambe. But yeah, that was an interesting parallel to also have him be. I felt like it normalized him a little bit more in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm feeling. I am disappointed in myself that I missed out on that because yeah, he's a very interesting character, and I think this is like a type of person. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that missed it, but I feel like if it is like where everybody knows that he's gay and the way that he is, this is a great representation of a gay character because he like the fact that he can have that aspect to him, but he's just a person is awesome. And I would love to like, promote his character more. Same way I do Steve back in the day in Mass Effect 3. He's just a guy that happened to be gay. I love that,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why people got really upset. They thought it was gonna be like an enemies to lover kind of like
Oh,
romance
okay, yeah.
option.
I can
that's even
understand
more of a
that in that
miss.
sense. I can see why people
Yeah.
would be upset because that is a type of narrative that people really really dig, and kind of missing on that is I can see why that would tick people off. Um, but yeah, I do like how the game does pepper in like little story moments like that, just in dialogue, and also just how the characters act. Like we kind of already passed it because it was in the gameplay walkthrough, but the bit with Phenomenon and Blazer, where after she asks you not to go with them on their little date, and he picks her up and Robert gives her a look like, what? Because he knows how strong she is. Because she just freaking carried him around like you had like a whole little not quite romantic like flyby of LA. And so she's like, why are you doing that? Why are you letting this guy carry you around? And then she goes like, he just flies faster. And that's cute. I have the little character moments and visual moments like that shine out in the game really well. Also, this bit that's in the video right now with Royd, where Royd drops that like, oh, he is literally the brain and bronze. And he goes like, yeah, because I'm both. And you're just like, what? That surprised me. I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting Royd to be the mechanic.
I was definitely expecting to play as Royd at some point in the game, and the fact that it never happened kind of I was kind of miffed a little bit. Like what?
Mm,
Real aside, real
yeah.
quick. I'm on the part where Mecha Man is fighting Flambe,
Mm.
and anyone who can watch my stream and just let me know if I'm crazy and see what I'm seeing with these dialogue lines.
All right.
Because for me, it was obvious because of this scene. I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Safety lecture from a walking fireball.
It's a reality check. Normies need babysitters, so you don't hurt yourself thinking you're.
But continue the conversation.
Man, I am so fucking strong.
Normies need babysitter.
Well,
Yeah.
it's part of the job. Heroes get hurt all the time.
Not the good ones, Rabo. Not the good ones.
Rabo. All right. Oh, okay. I can kind of see it.
Hero stuff without supervision. You can't get injured. Because we need you behind that desk to help the real heroes.
Actually, speaking of injuries, remind me, who burned off your eyebrows again?
Yeah, I do wonder about the lack of the
I got to do a
romance option.
actual hero. And I assure
and
you,
whether that was like
he's
a
regretting
higher,
every
a lot of times some of these things
penny
come
of
from
it.
higher up decision making,
I
but
imagine he's regretting a lot of his decisions.
That's fucking right.
Nah, this gave me this.
You
Maybe
have
I have
no
a
fucking
really
right to
terrible
doubt it
gaydar,
anymore.
but like I got nothing from this scene. Like,
Now,
didn't get any clues.
Jesus. All right. Oh, also, there's a thing I wanted. I don't know if this was mentioned earlier, but there's a bit with like the Steam art for the sale, like the deluxe edition, references the X-Men. Like there's a very famous X-Men sort of like summer edition panel, and they literally just did not quite like a draw over, but they put them next to like if you put them next to each other, it's a very clear homage. I posted it in the lobby chat.
Or Mandy.
Oh, I don't know. Which would you prefer? And that's not a trap. I'm both.
It's nice.
oh, totally,
It's
yeah.
solid.
That sounded weird out loud.
Oh, that's the situationship. Because I watched the interview yesterday too that they're talking about like Coop has a situationship, and I guess that is implied with the art with Punch Up. But I also
Oh,
completely missed that in the game too. I had no idea who she was,
Can't wait.
cuffed up with.
no, they have like there. I did notice that like when Coop is paired up with Punch Up, they have like flirty lines to each other. I think she says something along the lines of uh like uh she compliments him on a good job, and he like low-key like soft flirts with him, but he doesn't quite like get it because he's I think he's like a little blushy, but like I don't know if he 100% realizes, oh, she's being serious. uh but yeah, I'm trying to see if I can find this art without um the logo in the way. Yeah, nope, I cannot find it. Sheesh. Yeah, it's good. Also, just
All right.
the Phenomemon's voice lines are amazing. I just love how like that bit where he's like, "I was hoping we would all play Magic the Gathering." You're just,
Oh,
I love just the
he
way
said
he
that.
talks. Yes, he has. There's a bit where he's depressed, but he is, and the team is like fighting each other, and he is like poised to give a rousing speech, but he's just saying like he gives the rousing speech with the context of him just wanting to play Magic the Gathering. He goes, "I'm hoping we still will." And you're just like, "Dang, okay, bro." Uh, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
dope.
All
See,
right.
like now I kind of want to do a poll. I'll just be like, "Did you know Flambe was gay?" It's gonna be like 1%. Like Flambe, gay or nah? And then
Yeah, I mean, some people would have seen it. I probably didn't. I didn't. I got a little bit of it, but not a ton.
Yeah, I only got a little bit, and I think the coupe and punch up situationship was the easiest one to tell. Well, that was actually the first team up that I unlocked, so it was quite obvious. Like even in their first like conversation, that something was going on.
I don't think I ever sent them together. That was my thing. Yeah, because I had I don't think I ever had a situation where I needed charisma and mobility or something. Like they just never seemed like the perfect pair the way I had spec'd them out, so I didn't put them together.
And I think I ended up with a situation like you had mentioned before, where it's like, oh, I'm run out of people, so I got to send two. Because they were in like it was like a club thing. They had to break up a brawl or something like that, and I sent both of them, and they ended up having like this side dialogue where I realized that they had worked together before and stuff like that.
All right. Well, y'all, I didn't ask too many questions because you guys kind of were doing the questions with your natural conversations. So I didn't.
I do
I
have one
just
question though.
yeah, good.
It is about the audio. This music does not fit this game, but it fits so well.
100%. Other things like I
Yes,
don't know what
yeah.
the hell the music is. Yeah, like it's decently produced, but I'm just like y'all needed a different soundtrack for the most part. It does seem like at odds. I even like I think we've already talked about it when Phenomenon comes, like when he's first revealed that like Blazer is not single and is playing this music. I'm like, damn, am I about to be like killed? Is like Phenomenon actually what's his name? Omni Man or some shit? And then he's just, a fucking dork. And I'm like, that music that didn't convey that like at all. And maybe they wanted it to be like a misnomer or something like that, like to throw you off. But even like on the second playthrough, I'm like, a lot of the time, this music is just like, it's not bad, but it doesn't fit.
Yeah, I think that might have been intentional because, like, for one, we have everyone knows that like Homelander is kind of like popular right now, or culturally aware. Everyone is of Homelander, and people already know like the flying brick archetype with Superman and all these, and so giving us one that's just like a dork and is kind of like low key a little pathetic like I think that's a fun little twist on it with him. Like I I haven't gotten to the other shoe dropping with his reaction to his breakup with Blazer, but from the trailers I kind of understand he gets kind of depressed. And I think that's a good little switch up for this. We just have like a little pathetic man, sad little meow meower, as my friend would call him.
Yeah, one thing I did think about too while we are kind of talking about the relationship things or just some of the absurdity. I felt like there was like way too much radioactive dick in this in the ends. Like there's like he's just out with his junk out, and like at a certain point I was like, okay, this is kind of just excessive. Y'all are just like swinging. It's like somebody was like, no, we need to put him out here dangling more and more.
But he got punched in it, so it's okay.
I mean,
Am I tripping?
Oh wait, I saw. It took me a minute to realize what you were saying, but no, I get you. I get you.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah,
he was schlong like Diddy
awesome.
Kong. He was out
right.
there. He was out for Harambe.
Yeah, he was. He really was.
Oh, and I don't know if anybody else was terrible at the hacking at first, but like,
I think
my goodness, I was so bad.
yeah, I think Nigel mentioned that he struggled with with the hacking there before. Yeah.
Yeah, I just got over it. I'm like, turn off the timer. Let's no lies. I'm done with this bullshit. Just let me.
Mm.
And these fucking antiviruses shit. There's one, I think it's in like chapter 6 or whatever, where there's like a series of these, and then they got one particular grid where there's like freaking 7 antivirus things, and I'm like, man, if y'all don't leave me the fuck alone.
Right, and the funny thing is on replay, you don't need to go back and get the password. It's the same password. It doesn't like it randomly generate. So I was watching my god sister playthrough, and she was trying to platinum the game, so she had done like 4 or 5 of the storylines already to get the different storyline, the different endings, and she just had them saved. Like she just had them from memory, and I was just like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna play this game enough to do that.
Mhm. I will also note, while because I see like Wayne's thing, if you look at everybody's like I guess dossier, Invisigal has the lamest like I think character portrait. Like not these ones, but the ones like when you see their powers and details. Like her shit, look at that shit look lame as fuck. Like
I,
Wait, what?
everybody else look
I
cool,
was mentally saying in my mind a little bit because I
but
was
it's
watching
like,
my
yo,
stream
this
and
shit
yeah, like I saw like sonars and then flambés and then it went to hers. I was like, oh. It's
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of
You know, it does
lackluster.
its job. I mean, there's not really too much you can do with it. I don't know. I guess with
I mean, yeah,
invisibility, there's not
it's
too
kind
much
of
you can really do. I don't know.
exactly that's what I was gonna say. Like,
I was
how
like,
do you show someone being invisible in a cool way?
They could have done better than that
Give
shit.
him a high kick.
Oh
That's
god, no. Phenomenal Man looks so sad in that. Oh
that
my
is the
god.
difference. Hello, fellow king. I feel like with the Visigal. That is like even like Phenomenon, like he's sad, but like that's like I like the cape and the flowing and shit
At
like
least
that. Like
punch him. Yeah,
he looks like he's gone through some shit, which is still an
literally.
impressive portrait. And Visigal is just there.
I guess it does fit in
At least
Vilzagal's
punch up
character,
his
though.
posing.
You know, like you know, she's just gonna kick you. He's gonna.
Yeah. What in the hiya? I can hear her in that portrait. And that's not a good thing.
Wait, why doesn't she? Wait, Malevola is the only one that doesn't have like a mugshot.
I don't think she was arrested. I think she turned her. I think she joined like willingly.
I mean, it's mad difficult to get a mugshot from somebody who can cut portals into space time.
That's true.
Oh, that's true. That too. Also,
Oh, she's
wait.
Sonar's NA sponsor.
Yeah.
Wait, what's what? I didn't know what NA meant in that.
Narcotics.
Yeah,
Anonymous.
Narcotics Anonymous.
He's in love with the
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I
NA.
see.
He listens to OG Gymnastics on a regular basis.
All right. Wait. The thing that I just realized, like, well, I'm embarrassed that it took me this long to realize it. Malevola's just freaking what's her name?
Magic.
From
Yeah.
Magic. She's just Magic.
Oh.
But a demon, more of a demon all the time.
Yeah, she is
I
Magic and
haven't
Hellboy,
been-
right? Like,
Oh.
Yeah. No, I mean like Magic
she
does.
is. Yeah.
That's that sucks. I'm sorry. That the 43% there. Oh yeah, I love the press as a status effect. We love that.
Well, her sword is
right.
made of her soul, so she's different. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, isn't Magic's sword also made of her soul?
No, I'm saying Malevola's sword is not made, so that's the
Oh.
difference.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay,
there you
okay,
go.
all right.
Legally
And
distinct.
like Prism is like Dazzler, kinda. Golem is like the Thing in a sense. Not the Thing. The other one.
Clayface. I mean, he's got the body.
Clayface,
of
yeah.
Clayface, yeah.
Yeah, I was not expecting him to be like a jerk, like actively a jerk. Golem, I mean,
So-
because yeah,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
like the first time I sent him out in a team mission, he like threw another character into like they said there was like some water aerobics thing they did, and he pushed like Coupe into the water and just left her. And I was like, wait, what?
When they
On
were
your
all
first
sabotaging
mission?
each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all villains, right? So like that's
Yeah.
part of it. He didn't seem exceptionally douchey to me. Like he was just kind of like, I do what I want, but like chill about it. That's the air that I got from
Yeah.
him, not like outright jerk.
The way I was shocked when I saw his voice versus what I thought the voice of this man looked like was baffling for me personally, because I didn't do a lot of like background on these characters and stuff. I was like, this is a deep voiced black man. I'm here for it. And then I was like, that's not at all.
Yeah. But yeah, I love him. I'm liking him, and I'm liking Royd. Royd just talking like he's from Hawaii. Well, he is just dropping like Hawaiian slang and everything is dope. It's not quite Jamaica, but it's close. The other side of the freaking continent, Caribbean, or not Caribbean, U.S.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start to wrap up the game club discussion here. But we're obviously more than welcome to keep talking about it after here. Thank you guys for coming out, by the way, and for our game club discussion with this. I know there's like so much more to talk about it because there's so many different episodes. I realized, I was like, man, there's a lot of episodes. We're not going to really be able to talk about the entire story throughout here, but I'm glad we still were able to talk about the mechanics of it and also just to wonderful. In my personal opinion, wonderful characters also in this game. But I guess is there like any last thoughts before we end it off here?
Good game.
I will say I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to. To be honest, I played it before. We had this on Game Club, and it was just brought to me to play. Well, not to play, to watch play. And I was kind of watching. I was like, well, I'll give it a try. And then I ended up playing through all of this. Like I played through the entire game. So I was like, there's something about it that definitely had some hooks that I felt like, even with its very nuanced gameplay, I was invested. So that was really cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
think.
Go
Oh,
ahead, Chris.
no, you go.
I was gonna say I probably give this game like a 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5. But I feel like more so towards 8. I think this is a really solid game. It has some flaws or just things that you wish there was a little bit more of. But I even with that, I understand why this game took off the way it did because we haven't had even for an 8 out of 10 game, and maybe people, I'm sure other people may rank it higher, but even for an 8 out of 10 game, we for narrative focus like this, I don't think we've had one like of this caliber in years. Like I think maybe now this is from the Telltale team, if I understand correctly, but I feel like even if like this was released in the like peak of Telltale era, it wouldn't have had like the amount of fervor that it does now. But because we've been kind of like had a vacuum for so long of these games that could do like
Oh, that's the
we're
line.
focused on narrative so much, and this is what we're sticking in it. It's not going to be a whole bunch of gameplay. Like this is a breath of fresh air that kind of reminds people that there is some life to this genre and this style of game. So hopefully, they can take off and make a whole long series with it. But I think this is a great like first step, and hopefully, it's something that actually revitalizes this entire genre to make a little bit more of that because I do feel like we have like there's titles here and there, but for the most part, ever since Telltale has dissolved, I do think there has been largely a hole in this space that I think deserves to get have a little bit more action. So hopefully this could be the start of that, whether it's ad hoc continuing on or just inspiring other people from both a creative and most importantly in these times business perspective where they can get funding to make a game in this style.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I think like I think that like this game kind of did revitalize a lot of the uh like narrative focus, like get minimal like gameplay is present, but like minimal and not like the main draw type game. I hope that we get more of these, and I think it would be really cool if we did. And also I can see why some people want this back. They want like a sequel to this, or they want a like an actual animated series. I feel like if they did make an animated series, it probably wouldn't be as successful because like the lack of interactivity there. But I'm
Yeah.
happy to be proven wrong.
All right, y'all. Well, guys, thank you guys for coming out to Game Club. We're more than welcome to stick around and keep chatting though about this because there is like so much to talk about. But either way, yeah, I hope they continue out with this because Telltale Games was one of my favorite studios because of the story-driven like narratives and also just being able to select your own sort of path, But yeah, hopefully they do more of this. I really hope so. But either way, y'all, thank you guys for coming out the Game Club, y'all.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, this is good.
Wait, where's the
thanks for
button?
hosting.
Hold on, there's a
Yeah, no problem.
no. Okay, I don't know how to get the freaking applause sound to go off.
You're fine.
Oh wait, never mind. Found it.
Yeah. Adios to whoever views this on demand.
But it's the small office applause.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and